Hi everyone, Tasha here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing a holiday card tutorial created with items from Kat Scrappiness. The holidays are just around the corner and it's a perfect time to start holiday crafting. This is a sample of the card we're going to create together. It has a beautiful stenciled background and a pretty foil Christmas tree design. And you can see it has reindeers and an ombre color in the background that kind of gives a different look than just having a solid color. Here is the tree die that I used. It's called Brush Christmas Tree. It includes the modern Christmas tree die and a little star for the top. In addition, I'm using the Ho 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 Shadow Sentiment dies, and this can be used alone with just the Ho Ho Ho, or you can have a layered look. The stencil I'm using is called Christmas Sweater, and again, it has these cute little reindeers and that sweater pattern. For a little sparkle, I'm using a piece of paper from the new Silver Glitter Paper Pad. These are 6x6 double-sided glitter paper, and it's a printed pattern paper, so it's not loose glitter, and it has all these different shades of silver. In addition, I'm going to be using several pieces of cardstock, and I'm kind of coordinating these shades to be in the teal and silver family, and then I have the foil for the Christmas tree. To start the project, I'm going to do my stenciled background. So I'm taking a piece of white cardstock and I'm going to place it on my little stenciling magnetic platform. And I'm positioning the stencil in the center. I just want to make sure the stencil is straight so that I have all of my reindeers and everything as straight as possible. I'm using these magnets to hold everything in place, but if you don't have something like this, you can also just use masking tape. I'm going to go in with 3 shades of Distress Oxide ink, and I'm starting with the darkest shade and then working down to the lightest. So along the top, I did put a lot of ink on my blending brush, and I'm just going to go along the top until I get kind of to the middle, and as I get towards the middle, I'm having lighter ink because I'm going to be blending 3 colors together. So I'm having it the heaviest or the darkest along the top, and then lighter as I work my way down the card. Once I have my first color down, I'm going in with another shade, and this is more of a mid-tone shade. So I'm going to blend it where I left off with the darkest color. Again, applying more heavy color and then getting lighter as I work my way down. So then this way, when you blend 3 colors together, everything blends nicely. There's no edge or a sharp line where one color ends and another one starts. Everything kind of looks like it all goes together and you get a pretty ombre look. I just love these different shades of teal and mint and blue for holiday and winter cards. They're so pretty, especially since I'm using the silver colors. I just think they work really well together. So once I was done, I'm going to remove my magnets and gently lift up that stencil. And here is that pretty stenciled background. I love it so much. It looks just like a Christmas sweater. And these reindeers are just so cute. You could use this on so many different projects. And I think it would turn out great with any color combination. So now that I'm done with my background, it's time to do my die cutting. And this is really simple. Again, there's no stamping in this project. We're just going to die cut with some Kat Scrappiness dies and then assemble. So I'm starting with the shadow for my Ho 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 greeting, and I'm using a dark teal color. I just ran it through my die cutting machine one time and it pops out perfectly. After I was done, I'm going to die cut the Ho 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 out of white cardstock. I'm using the same cardstock that I used for the background, and I just used a little tiny piece of purple tape to hold it in place. Since this isn't a magnetic platform, I wanted to make sure it stayed put. When you cut out the Ho Ho Ho, you can use a little poker tool. I'm using this one from Kat Scrappiness, and those letters pop right out. Also, make sure that you don't lose any of the pieces because those little dots can easily be lost. So make sure you keep everything together. Once I was done with the greeting, I'm going in with my silver foil paper and I'm going to cut the tree. And again, I'm using some tape just to hold everything in place, and I'm going to run it through one time. And then after I'm done running this through, I'm using my poker tool again. The tree is, there's a lot of little detail with those lines. So using that poker tool makes it really easy to pull this tree out. And it just comes out all as one piece. So you just want to gently pull it up so you don't rip it. After I was done cutting all my little pieces out, it's time to assemble the greeting. So I'm using tweezers and some liquid adhesive to hold it all together. So I'm putting the liquid adhesive all over the first word, and I'm just going to position it directly onto that shadow. And I did put the tweezers on the wrong end at first. It's easier for me to lay down the letters when I switched it, but whichever way works for you. Next, I'm going to do the second word, and I'm doing it the same way, just adding some liquid adhesive and then going to layer it where it needs to go. If it's easier for you, you can also add some sticker paper when you're die cutting to make all the words a sticker if you don't want to use liquid adhesive. You can also assemble your card by adding in the little exclamation points if that's easier for you as well, but this is just the way that was easy for me. Now for the little exclamation points, I'm just attaching the top part. So I'm going in with that same glue and my little tweezers and just putting them in between the words. And I'm going to leave the bottom part blank. So if you are going to use the little dots that's included in the die set, make sure you don't lose them because they're really tiny, but you could also put little sequins or rhinestones or little embellishments as well, just to make your greeting look a little bit different. For this card, I'm going to add snowflakes to the bottom of those exclamation points using these little snowflakes from the Frosty's Sprinkle Mix from Kat Scrappiness. So if you have any type of sequins and they're mixed with different types of beads or different types of mixes. So like this one has blue beads, it has snowman, but it also has snowflakes. So I decided just to use a little snowflake. So I just pulled out a few to choose from. And then on the other side of my little poker tool, there's a waxy end, and that allows you to easily pick up sequins, rhinestones, and just position them. And do you see how cute they look with that bottom area? So once I was done with that, I just set it aside and I'm going to start building my layers. So I'm starting with my stenciled background, and again using liquid adhesive. This will give me a little more wiggle room when I'm attaching my layers to try to get them as straight as possible. And then I'm just going to attach it to a teal piece of cardstock. Once I was done with the top layer, I'm going to attach the 3 last pieces of cardstock together, and this is the bottom layer. So I'm putting liquid adhesive on the silver glitter paper. And again, since this is pattern paper, you can use liquid adhesive since it's just paper to paper. And I'm attaching it to a darker teal background. It's actually the same color I used for the shadow for my ho ho ho. Then just for another layer and an extra color, I'm putting it on top of black cardstock. I love the way it looks with that black in the background, and then you have that teal and the silver, and I just think it makes all the colors pop. So I'm just going to make sure I press down firmly and I have everything lined up. And then to attach the 2 pieces together, I'm using foam tape. So I just cut up a little bit of foam tape and I'm going to put it on top of that on the back of that center card. So I'm just layering it on each corner, and then I'll put one piece in the center. So I don't have to use too much foam tape, but it's really nice and secure. So I'm just going to position that in the center as best as I can. And do you see, because we made the glitter paper bigger and we have it raised up with foam, you have a pretty sparkly glitter border around your center card. So once I was done with my layers, I'm going to start adding the tree and the ho ho ho. I thought it'd be fun to have the ho 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 raised up a bit as well, so I'm just going to cut a piece of foam tape down the center to make it a little bit skinnier, and then just have a single strip of foam tape across that greeting. Just going to pull it off and put it along the bottom. I want to make sure that I have enough room for my tree, and then still be able to see that background design. So I just positioned it close to the bottom, but you can still see the stencil design above and below the greeting. Once I was done, I'm going to use my liquid adhesive again and then attach the pretty foil Christmas tree. And this tree design is so cool. It's really modern looking. It's a different look for a holiday card, and I love the way it looks with glitter paper and foil paper. It's just really pretty. So I'm just going to put that in the center as best as I can, and then once I have it in place, you want to hold down so that the glue kind of sets up. And then after, I'm going to attach the little star. I'm going to put a piece of foam tape behind the star to raise it up a bit as well. And this star was just cut out of glitter paper. And I'm going to put it kind of over the top of the point of the tree so that it looks like the star is on the top of the tree. And this is real easy to do. So once the star is on top, your card is complete. Then you just have to pick a color cardstock that you want to use for your base card and then send it off. So here are my 2 designs. I hope you guys enjoyed today's project and will give it a try. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and all the items I used today are listed below. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.